Hi, it's Gary King. I'm actually talking to you today from Treasure Island, Florida, which is where I live. A few days ago, I was in Brighton, England, spent time with a lot of really amazing people, met a lot of new friends, and if you're watching this video, I really miss you guys. I'd just like to share just a few thoughts with you. I'm wearing my signature Hawaiian shirt. People who know me know that I show up a lot of times in Hawaiian shirts, and when I travel, I always board an airplane wearing a Hawaiian shirt no matter where I'm going, because, you know, Hawaii, people go there to have fun, be happy. So no matter where I go in the world, I pretend like I'm going to Hawaii. So I'd like to just share a few thoughts with you about what I went through when I was a child, my educational process. You know, it was very interesting. I spent 12 years in the public school system, and I always reflect back on that because I really didn't have a really great time doing that. And matter of fact, I tell people for 10 years or 15 years after that, I had nightmares, and I would have this nightmare about being back in high school and not having enough credits to graduate. And it was a frightening thing. Of course, when I was in high school, I couldn't intellectually tell you why the experience wasn't fulfilling. It just wasn't fulfilling. So, you know, I always wonder what would have happened if a teacher at any time, you know, maybe from the 6th grade on, just would have drawn a line on the blackboard and put on one side of the line the 6 or 7 traits, characteristics of a low self-worth person, and on the other side of the line, put the traits of a high self-worth person, you know. And on one side, she wrote things like, feels inferior, is self-conscious about your looks, constantly needs validation, constantly needs to do things to be liked, is a pleaser, you know, wrote all those things. And then on the other side, wrote things like, is very self-confident, doesn't really care what other people think, you know, forges ahead no matter what the project is, isn't really concerned how other people feel, if they're doing the right thing or the wrong thing in other people's opinion. And maybe, you know, maybe in the 6th grade, a teacher, you know, she said, or he said, I'd like you to read this book. It's called Forgive for Good, and you got 2 weeks to read it, and then we're going to have a class discussion, and there will be no tests, just a class discussion, and I'll lead the discussion, and I'll discuss with you, you know, my forgiveness issues. And then maybe a month later, the assignment was to read the 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, and same thing, got a couple of weeks to read it, and then there won't be a test, we're just going to have a class discussion. And then maybe the third situation would be read a book called Just Be Honest. And we'll have a discussion about that, and also what we're going to do is a 24-hour truth challenge, and we're just going to challenge ourselves to be honest for 24 straight hours. You know, as I look back at my educational process, I wonder if that would have happened in the 6th grade, it would have repeated itself in the 9th grade, and it would have repeated itself in my senior year of high school. How would my life would have been different? Well, I can tell you right now, looking back on my life, it would have been dramatically different. Matter of fact, it would have been a different life completely, because then it would have just given me another set of references. Because how did I measure myself? Well, by the way the outside world was reflected back at me. And of course, when you have low self-worth, like I did most of my whole life, well then life is a reflection of your low self-worth. You choose relationships that blend in with that, and all the things you do are a reflection of your self-worth. There's only one life lesson, self-worth, that's it. You know, I've traveled in the personal development industry for 22 years, and I constantly see people searching, constantly. And I was in a foreign country, I don't remember where I was, it might have been Bali, might have been Singapore, and I had a local person walk up to me and say, "You're from America, aren't you?" And I went, "Yeah." And he goes, "What are you people searching for? You're always searching for something. What are you looking for anyway? You know, everything you're looking for is inside you. It's not out here." I mean, sometimes I will, you know, last year I spoke in a school in Copenhagen, and you know, the person that picked me up at the airport told me in advance, and just wasn't there. This happens all the time to me. They go, we just want to warn you, when you go to the school, you know, the kids are going to be rude to you. Okay, I've spoken prisons. I'm not really concerned about if anybody's rude to me. And she said, the other thing is, you'll never be able to hold their attention for more than 30 minutes. Now, what's interesting about all that is that's not my reference. That's a teacher's reference. See, my reference is I've been speaking with teenagers worldwide for 10 years. I've never had a teenager be rude to me ever. And most of the time when I speak to teen groups, at the end of an hour, they ask me if I can share some more things with them. I share personal stories, and it's an amazing experience. So I just wanted to share those couple of thoughts with you and kind of tell you where I'm going in the next, you know, the next stage of my life. So those of you who know me, and you follow me on Facebook, you know that I'm going to start doing programs all over the world, and I need your help with that. So I want to get into schools, I want to get into prisons, I want to do some women's retreats, 3 or 4 day women's retreat, and 3 or 4 day men's retreat, separate from each other. And I need you to help me facilitate that. I'd like to do several of them in Europe, maybe in Prague, maybe in Austria, one in the UK, one in Australia. Love to speak in the schools, love to speak in the prisons. You know, after 67 years and all, and I would tell you, it's not that my life is so much different than other people's lives. I've had a lot of very traumatic things happen. All of us have. Some of mine were, I'm not quite sure why they had to be so dramatic. Nonetheless, they were. And from all those things, I understand what the search is, because I've had that search too for a long, long time. So I want to help you with the search because I know where it's all going, and it truly is inside of every one of you. It's not in the outside world. We've all been down the path of validation, you know, financial validation, validation from a lover, the issues between parents and children. I don't know of anybody that doesn't have those issues actually in one form or another. So I'm really excited to go on the road. I'm really, really excited about the Happiness Team. I need your help with that. I need to get some membership cards created and a format created, which I'm working on right now, and want to have a worldwide team. And you know, it's not me, it's us. It's we who are going to do this, and we can do this. So, you know, I'm going to start doing a lot of videos, and a lot of them will be done with this background, you know, Hawaii. So again, I want to thank you, especially all the people from Brighton, for sure. I had an amazing time there and shared just lots of amazing friends. So I'm looking forward to traveling around the world. There's really, you know, that's my passion, that's my purpose, and I'm going to help you find your purpose because it truly lives inside you. So I'm going to keep on with the videos, so get ready, and I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Aloha from Treasure Island, Florida.